Good day and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am a usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. I would like to take another look at the Senzo Meyiwa trial. There was a time last year when the late Advocate Tulani Mgomezulu was cross-examining one Sergeant Mokhola. And Mgomezulu put the version to Mokhola that there'd be no intruders into that house. And in the process of doing that, Mgomezulu also told Mokhola that there had been a statement. Made by Sifiso Meyiwa. Sifiso is Senzo's elder brother. In which statement, Sifiso says Mr. Irvin Khoza of Orlando Pirates had told him that Senzo had been shot in a domestic dispute in the Khumalo house, and that there had been no intruders into that house. Now let me just read you a portion of that statement that Advocate Mgomezulu told the court about, or read out to the court, that actually will buttress the view or the position that there were no intruders into that house. And this is what Sifiso Meyiwa, Senzo's brother, says in that statement. Let me read the statement to you. Mr. Irvin Khoza told me in 2014 that the story that robbers entered the house and shot my brother was not true. It was a story given to the media, but it was not the real story, according to Sifiso's statement. I would like to state that Mr. Irvin Khoza told me that Senzo Meyiwa, my brother, was not shot by robbers. These were the actual words of Mr. Irvin Khoza. He goes on to say, Senzo Meyiwa was not shot by intruders. He was shot by mistake. There was a fight between Zandi and her boyfriend. I would like this matter to be investigated as to who told Mr. Irvin Khoza this, as to what happened inside the house when my brother was killed. So this is what Sifiso says in that statement, that in 2014, Mr. Irvin Khoza had told him that his younger brother, Senzo, had been shot in the Khumalo house following a domestic dispute between Zandi and her boyfriend, Longwetwala. You would recall that in and around this time, the relationship between Zandi and Longwe was very strained. And it would appear that for a period of about 2 weeks leading up to the day on which Senzo was killed, Zandi had been avoiding Longwe at all costs. And it would appear that Longwe was no longer, welcome in gatherings of the nature of the one that they were having at the Khumalo house. But be that as it may, it appears that Longwe got wind of the fact that these people had gathered at the Khumalo house in Poslo Ras. This is the home of Zandi and Kelly. And when he got there, apparently he had his father's stolen firearm in his possession. When he got there, somehow his suspicions were confirmed because he found Tumelo Matala there and this other chap, Mtogozisi Ngube. These were Senzo's friends from KZN. Upon finding them there, he was very suspicious that one of them, could have been organized by somebody in that house, to be Zandi's new boyfriend. So the narrative goes that Longwe Twala got very rowdy in that house. He confronted Zandi Kumalo, apparently over these two guys, or one of them. And in that encounter, Senzo then intervened to try and calm things down. But unfortunately, as fate would have it, that intervention was to take Senzo's life. Because it was during that intervention by Senzo that the gun in Longwe's possession discharged 2 to 3 bullets, and one of them hit Senzo fatally. So this is the version that Sifiso Meyiwa, Senzo's elder brother, in a statement that Mugomezulu disclosed to the court and read into the court record. That is what Sifiso says he was told by Mr. Irvin Khoza of Orlando Pirates way back in 2014. So you see, the intruder theory now is being seen for what it is. It is losing all credibility from all fronts. Because, you know, Sifiso is saying also in that statement that he would like this issue to be investigated, because he's adamant that this is what Mr. Irvin Khoza told him regarding the death of his brother in the Kumalo house. And Irvin Khoza perhaps was best placed to know, because, you know, he's the chairman of Orlando Pirates. Senzo was the captain of Orlando Pirates, and also perhaps the captain of Bafana Bafana. So these are some of the things that, you know, have left a very bitter taste in the mouth of the Meyiwa, family. Because from the very onset, they knew nothing about the intruder theory. It was only much later that this intruder theory thing came to the fore. Remember, a day or two ago, I also brought you news about that private investigator from Fosoras, who told me that, you know, initial reports were that, you know, there had been an accidental shooting in the Kumalo house. But that, to the surprise and dismay of everybody, a few days later, they then started imagining this story that, you know, there had been intruders into that house and that there had been, you know, a house invasion. I think this sort of evidence that Mugomezulu brought up in court during the cross-examination of Sergeant Mohola is very important, because it is also supported by other, you know, pieces of evidence, right? Because, like I've always indicated on this channel, investigators on the ground were never ever convinced that there had been intruders into that house. They were never convinced that there had been intruders into that house. And from the very beginning, this investigation just went wrong because of the two sets of investigators now who were investigating different leads with different theories. One set of investigators saying there were intruders and another one saying there were no intruders. But this statement by Sifiso Meyiwa seems to support the view taken by those investigators who were saying there had been no intruders into that house. So this is what I wanted to share with you this morning, just to buttress the view that, you know, what is transpiring in the Pretoria High Court is another version, you know, that belongs to certain people. We also have another version that unfortunately is not before any court of law, but that we will forever, trumpet all over the place, because this is an abnormal state of affairs. You cannot have two narratives in respect of one investigation. I've always said in the past. But having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and please have a nice day.